everybody, Simbasic this here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today I have an unboxing for you. One of my viewers named Ignore the Fashion, I'll put a link to his YouTube channel down below. You can all check him out, give him a sub. He was nice enough to send me some great things, so let's take a look at what I got. So here's the package he sent me, and the first thing inside is a note, and it reads, "Hey David," and that is my real name, David. "Hey David, here's the GBA. I even threw in some extras that I hope a cinema collector like yourself would enjoy. I hope I did a good job on the packaging." And he actually did do a really good job on the packaging. So good that I actually had to open everything first. Normally an unboxing goes where you see everything for the first time as I'm seeing everything for the first time. But everything was so well packaged, everything had bubble wrap taped around it that I had to open it all up first. So I do already know what he sent me, but let's take a look anyway. First up are some of the extra goodies he sent me, and those were some coasters. Looks like a coaster for old school and a coaster for Freddy vs. Jason. This one with Jason and this one with Freddy. Pretty cool. Yeah, I like them. I mean, just for decoration, I guess, just for collecting purposes. These are actually pretty cool to have. And these I really enjoy. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where am I going to use these or keep them? Because for collecting purposes, they're pretty cool looking, but I just want to stick them on something. And those are Freddy vs. Jason stickers. I mean, look at that with the Jason mask holding being held by Freddy's hand there. That looks awesome. So he sent me two of these. Maybe one I'll stick on something, though what I don't know. But maybe I'll stick one on something and the other one I'll keep for collecting purposes. But just some extra goodies. Very happy to get these. And then he sent me two DVD-ROMs. One for Freddy vs. Jason and the other for Man Apart. I have no idea what these are from. I actually sent him a message asking him where these came from. If you guys know, leave me a comment. Let me know what these are all about, because I don't know. I did put the Freddy vs. Jason one in to see what the DVD section was all about, and it's just about 3 minutes of kind of an introduction for the video. And then from there, they go into the trailer. That's about it. The DVD-ROM features, I haven't watched yet. So, again, these are pretty cool. Very happy to have these, and I'm looking forward to finding out where these came from and what they're all about. The next thing he sent me was Chud on VHS. Now, I actually do already have this very same copy of Chud, but this one might actually be in better condition than the one I have. So, very happy to get this. I mean, when it comes to people sending me stuff I already have, if they're going to send me something that's in better condition than the one I own, I'm very excited about that, so glad to get this. And now on to the real good stuff. What I actually knew Ignore the Fashion was sending me. If you guys remember from last week, I bought myself some Game Boy Advance videos. It's a new format that I wanted to add to my collection, one I did not have in my collection yet. But I did mention that I didn't currently have a way to watch my Game Boy Advance videos yet. But what I had coming to me, something I ordered off of Craigslist, was a GameCube with the Game Boy Advance adapter that hooks onto the bottom. That was coming to me. I was very excited about that. I figured I could watch my Game Boy Advance videos through that onto my TV. It was going to be great. I then had a viewer contact me, and he left me a message and said, actually, the Game Boy Advance adapter doesn't play Game Boy Advance videos. It's due to some copyright reasons. It's complete BS. So I was pretty bummed out to find that out. I was really looking forward to being able to watch my Game Boy Advance games through the Game Boy Advance adapter on the GameCube and watch them on my TV. Thought it was going to be great. But unfortunately, that wasn't going to work. However, Ignore the Fashion contacted me and said he had an extra Game Boy Advance that he wasn't using, and he would just send me for absolutely free. So, of course, I jumped on that. I was very happy about that because now I have a way to watch my Game Boy Advance videos. So, here it is. He sent me a GBA, a Game Boy Advance SP. Very cool. Opened it up, tested it out. It works perfectly. It's in good condition. It's got a little Mario there in the front. It's pretty cool. So, very happy to have this. Now I can finally watch my Game Boy Advance videos. But that's not all he sent me. He also threw in two other goodies as well, and that was Wario Land 4 and Midnight Club Street Racing. Although I'm not a gamer, I still do enjoy playing video games, so very cool. So that's it for what I got today. So now on to my watch. And today I checked out the remake of Freaky Friday. As you remember from yesterday, I watched the original Freaky Friday, and even though I did enjoy it, because I do love those great classics, 50s, 60s, and 70s Disney movies, they have a great feel to them, they're a lot of fun to watch. I did say it wasn't one of my favorites from the time period, it was mediocre, it was an okay movie, but some of the characters kind of bothered me in the way they acted. It just wasn't one of my favorite Disney movies from that time period, although, like I said, I did recommend it, and it was good. So I had never seen the remake of Freaky Friday. This is my first time watching it. And I actually enjoyed this a little more than the original. I thought the characters were a little better. I like the fact that As opposed to the original, where the characters looked just stupid to me. I just felt like they were complete idiots. The way they acted a lot, you know, the daughter being in the mom's body would just do stuff that I'm like, no kid. Again, she's like 12 or 13. She would know better than to do some of this stuff. Same thing with the mommy in the kid's body. There were certain things from like, you know, it's not necessarily a culture shock. That's just common sense. Why would this happen? Why would that happen? And it was just ridiculous. There, you know, the mother and the daughter never really got together to kind of figure out what was going on. It was just, the movie had its issues and a lot of things that I thought were very common sense things they didn't do, which really made me feel like the characters were really stupid. Whereas in this movie, the characters, you know, they might do some ridiculous things here and there, but for the most part, they feel kind of normal. They're going through this whole thing together. They're not separated the entire movie. They actually, you know, are taking part in this craziness that's going on, the switching of bodies together. And I like that. I like the, you know, it really creates a lot more wackiness that happens, you know, between the two arguing and you know, it looks like the daughter's arguing with the mom, you know, and taking charge, where obviously it's, you know, actually the correct way, but they're in different bodies. You know, things like that I really liked. I like the brother better than this one, because the brother in the original was this like, kind of like a goody two-shoes, and that's why the daughter was so kind of pissed at him all the time, just because he was so good at doing everything. He's really neat and clean and very smart and yada yada yada, which is kind of a dumb reason to not like somebody. In this one, the brother is really annoying. It makes complete sense why the daughter, the sister, is very much against him. You know, it makes sense. I also like in this one, the mother, she's getting remarried as opposed to the original where the mother is married and she's trying to put on, she's basically catering and helping out with this show that his father's putting on because he's doing this little show for some new clients. Whereas in this one, she's getting remarried and she has to plan for a wedding and she has to plan for the wedding rehearsal. And that's kind of where the chaos comes. I like that. So I did think this movie was done better. It took all the things from the original that I just thought were kind of stupid and just shouldn't have been done. They should have been changed. And they actually changed them and made a good movie. It had its funny moments, nothing too crazy. I wouldn't say this movie's anything great. I would also say this one's mediocre, but a much better mediocre film. But I did really enjoy it. I thought everything was pretty much well done in this. I actually really enjoyed the ending a lot more. In the first one, I didn't really feel there was any kind of like heartfelt moment for the most part. You know, the mother and daughter kind of reconcile, but you know, nothing that felt really heartfelt. Whereas in this one, you know, the daughter gets up and she does this great speech welcoming the new father, well, the soon-to-be new father, to the family, saying that, you know, they could all get along and be this great, happy family, which makes the mother really happy to hear. You know, it's really hard. It's a very heartfelt moment where the daughter kind of accepts everything and realizes, you know, the mistakes of their mom, and the mom realizes the mistakes of the daughter, and they kind of forgive each other and, you know, love each other. And it is a really happy, heartfelt moment at the end. I like that as well. Thought they did a good job with that. So as far as comparing the two, the remake is definitely the superior film. Just a lot better. Just a much better film where, again, they took everything from the first one that just made no sense and just made the characters look completely stupid, turned it around and made the actual characters seem somewhat human. Like I said, don't get me wrong, there are moments in here that are kind of ridiculous and a bit over the top, which I'm like, why would they do that? That was a little stupid. But they're not constant, so you can look past them. You're not constantly going, that was dumb, that was dumb, that was dumb, that was dumb, that was dumb. You're like, oh, ha, 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 dumb, ha, ha, ha. You know, so you're getting your laughs in, and every now and then there's something stupid. But you can look past the stupid stuff because the rest of the movie, you're not feeling that the characters are complete morons. So it's very easy to just look over all those things. So in the end, I would say yes. Check out the remake of Freaky Friday. Once again, mediocre, but a good mediocre film. Much better than the original. So I would definitely recommend this movie. So that's it for what I got and what I watched today. Once again, thank you very, very much to Ignore the Fashion for sending me that Game Boy Advance SP and all those extra goodies. That was very, very cool of you. You didn't have to do that. Just being kind like that and just sending me that stuff for free was fantastic. I'm very excited now that I have a way to watch my Game Boy Advance videos. I'll be doing that ASAP. Very excited about that. And also watching the remake of Freaky Friday, like I said, it was good. You know, mediocre, but a good mediocre film that I'd recommend, and definitely a hell of a lot better than the original, which I don't say too often. So definitely check that movie out. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya.